Hello and Happy New Year, everybody. I'm JotunWarrior. I only started my channel in October 2023, so I just wanted to make a video about some of the other games I played during the year. I don't have a lot of footage for these since I wasn't making videos when I played them. I won't be going in any particular order, but I'll put a little sigil on the ones that I grabbed all the achievements for, maybe a little X on the ones I didn't finish, as well as the release dates and re-release dates for all the remasters I played. Just so we're clear, I'm making no attempt at objectivity here. I'm ranking solely based on how much fun I had, and not attempting to assign worth or value. First off, all of the games I've already reviewed. You can check out my previous videos to hear a lot more about those ones. Warhammer 40,000 Fire Warrior. The coolest cover art in the Walmart computer games aisle during Q1 2004. Unfortunately, the PC controls are an absolute nightmare, and I gave up after 3 missions. Dark Messiah of Might and Magic. I still love this game. It's old enough to vote, and kicking people into spike traps wins every election. Jotun. I didn't latch on to the gameplay, but boy was it pretty. Convoy. This is one of the FTL contemporaries. I really enjoyed replaying it, but getting the 100% on this is a Herculean chore. Homeworld series. I played through the 2 Homeworld remasters, the expansion pack that was sued by Blizzard, and Deserts of Karak for the first time this year. They really live up to the hype, but the first Homeworld was pretty easily my favorite of the bunch. Demonologist. In March when I played, the first few matches were fun, but it devolved into grinding repetition real fast. It was fun for an evening, but I'll definitely wait until it's done before I try again. Humanity. I love a good puzzle game, and this one was fine. A few of the challenge puzzles were persnickety and required such precise ordering that I had to look up a guide, but the vast majority were intuitive enough to be fun and different enough to remain difficult. Garfield Kart Furious Racing. I can't talk about this one. Generation Zero. I don't know who decided every survival crafting game needed to be so janky and have such quick, weirdly fluid enemies, but I don't like it, and I'm tired of collecting craft mechanics that boil down to pressing X a million times. Yakuza Kiwami, Kiwami 2, and Judgment. All 3 of these Yakuza games were great, but I played them back to back, and I would not recommend that since it feels like you're playing a single 300-hour game. The thing that prevents me from going for the platinum trophies is my sanity and complete inability to play Mahjong. The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. I'll say it, this was my favorite Sonic game of 2023. Trek to Yomi. Looked cool, but the combat didn't grab me. Most of the games I rate high on the pain scale are games I never finished. If it doesn't immediately hook me, I'll usually uninstall. There are more games out now than I could ever possibly play, so time management is important. Vampire Survivors. A decade ago, this would have been a free Newgrounds game, and it would have been huge in study hall. Anyways, it feels too much like gambling. Bone Razor Minions.
Here's my review. Not gay enough.
Dawn of War 2. It still blows my mind that they took the masterpiece of the original Dawn of War and went in this direction with it. Chaos Rising was the most fun campaign of the 3. I did not care for Retribution's 6 identical faction campaigns at all. Call of Cthulhu. It's a certifiable wet mystery. Pretty fun until it tries to be an action shooter. Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition. I grew up with the Baldur's Gate games, but when I first played Icewind Dale a few years back, it was an immediate favorite. It doesn't have the intricate story or character moments, but I always get caught up in the adventure. Warlords Battlecry 2 and 3. The campaign of 3 was a massive leap in quality from 2's open sandbox, but the cover art didn't have enough insane COD pieces. Fallout New Vegas. I finally played through all the DLCs. I consider this to be a pretty foundational, story-driven FPS experience. It was definitely worth a revisit. Kenshi. Every few years I boot this game up and soak in the radioactive atmosphere. One of the definitive, janky, insane RPG experiences. If you haven't played it, I'd really recommend it. Super Mario Odyssey. Glad I finally got around to playing this. I stopped playing platformers when my GameCube was stolen a few weeks after the Christmas I got it, and my mom replaced it with an Xbox and Halo. A little forking path in my childhood. In 2022, I got back into it with Tropical Freeze, the Mario 3D Collection, and some others. It's been really nice to broaden it. Battle Chasers Night War. I did not know this was a comic series. Not a huge fan of turn-based combat, but this one was really engaging. When it works, it really works. Dwarf Fortress. I've been playing since around V3.1 when they added Z levels. The Steam release added mouse support, which has been my hardest adjustment since they added the military screen. I still enjoy running a fort or two every year. Metroid Prime Remastered. Not at all like I remembered it, but it was a treat nonetheless. Alan Wake Remastered, the third most fun you can have with a flashlight. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I was really enthralled with the underworld exploration. A solid entry, but at times it did feel like I was just replaying Breath of the Wild. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Every new Call of Duty somehow elaborates on my least favorite part of the last one. Time to kill is so cranked that it's forgotten the concept of a gunfight. Kill streaks are constantly cluttering the arena, and the weapon tuning system seems purposefully designed to give experienced players a massive advantage over newcomers. A really wretched experience. Cursed to Golf. Another game that just did not click for me. Maybe I'm just getting tired of roguelikes being mixed into every genre. Ashes 2063. I checked this out at the start of the year, and by golly, it's one hell of an experience. Unfortunately, I dropped out a little before the end of the game because it was obliterating my eyes. Biomutant. Loved the concept, found the execution pretty uninteresting. Only played about a quarter of it. Despo's Game. Was fun for a few attempts, but once I completed a full run, I completely lost interest. It seems like the kind of game you need to really study the meta of the patch notes for, and I'm just not that interested in it. Far Cry 6. You want to know the definition of insanity? Playing a new Far Cry game and expecting it to be different. Destroy All Humans 2 Remastered. This probably would have been pretty funny if I was 12. Rogue Tower. I've never played a tower defense game as good as the Winter Mall Tower Defense custom map series for Warcraft 3, but I sure keep trying to find one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. I don't like beat-em-ups very much, but yeah, this was a very charming one. Legend of Mana Remaster. I had so much fun with this, and yes, it was all because of nostalgia. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I think it was fun. I don't remember a single detail of this game. Command & Conquer Remastered. There's an interview with Jim Vasella about the sandbag trick, where enemies were initially unable to target sandbags, so you could funnel them into choke points or completely break their pathing using solid lines of sandbags. He said they had to leave it in the remaster because the original game's difficulty was basically tuned to account for players utilizing bugs. It's a fascinating commentary on how games can be completely designed around their own limitations. Anyways, the hard difficulty annoyed the hell out of me. Returnal. I don't know why I keep playing these roguelike likes. It's like I get to a point of frustration with them, quit, and then start over in a new one. Jedonia. I didn't quite finish this one, but it played exactly like a single-player version of classic World of Warcraft, and I was intrigued. Maybe I'll get back to it sometime. Mafia Definitive. I never finished the original because of that godforsaken racing section. Sackboy: A Big Adventure. A really enjoyable two-player platformer. For those of you who've already finished It Takes Two and are looking for any other couch game, I'd recommend it. Trials of Mana. I've got no nostalgia for this Mana entry, so it dragged. Outer Wilds. This was actually the first game I played this year, and it is now one of my favorite games I've ever played. Endlessly inventive, surprising, sweet, and sorrowful. Go in blind, and with a little patience, it might be one of your favorite games too. Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition. I spent a lot of time on the custom servers of Neverwinter Nights 1 and 2, but I don't think I ever fully beat the campaign until this year. It was pretty interesting how the DLC campaigns began incorporating some of the techniques used by custom server DMs. Really a bygone age of gaming. EDF Iron Rain. On the rare instances when I have an actual human guest, this is my go-to for a quick drop-in couch shooter. Blood Fresh Supply. I wanted to like this game, but there's something about it that keeps pinging me back. I'll give it another try later, I promise. Total War Warhammer. This game is still really fun. I sure hope the company that makes these games doesn't do something to completely burn up all goodwill they have with their user base. Cookie clicker. Idle games give me such a bewildering feeling of emptiness. When I boot up Cookie Clicker, I'm gazing long into the merciless tundra within, and finding nothing. Metro 2033, my last game of 2023. It's a lot like the Stalker games, but distinctly more narrative-driven and has some really haunting moments. Its age is definitely showing, so maybe someday I'll try the remake they released in 2014. Well, that's all. There are definitely a few titles I forgot because I just bounced off of them so fast they didn't register. I replayed a lot of my favorites this year, which was new for me, and I'm glad so many of them held up. I also started achievement hunting last year, which is something I pretty much never did in the past. I'll probably get bored of that eventually, but who knows. I kinda hope I play fewer games this year. Anyways, that's all for now. I hope you all have a warm and prosperous winter. If you'd like to support my channel, a like, follow, or comment would go a long way. Thanks. See you.